There's something for everyone to brighten their homes. Visit www.hujjatbookshop.co.uk now.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And thank you so much for joining us on the Hope Appeal fundraising show live here on Ahlulbayt TV. My name is Haidar. I'll be joining you today to talk about some of the amazing ways that you can support the Hope Appeal, inshallah, as we're getting ever closer to Ramadan. And with me, I've got a very, very special guest all the way from Paris, Sister Wafa. Sister Wafa, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Well done. Pronounced correctly. Paris, ce soir, I'm coming to you live from Paris. Inshallah, I would love to join forces with everyone who's watching us live on many platforms that we are streaming on now, and saying, first of all, Assalamu alaikum to our amazing audience. We want you to stick around and find out how you can help tonight alleviate so many people and take them out of poverty by your generous donations.
Absolutely, that is the aim of today. How can we support? As we're counting down, and we're only with a single hand right now, 10 days left, 9 days even potentially, until the holy month of Ramadan starts. We just finished the 15th of Sha'ban, and inshallah all of you had an amazing anniversary of the birth anniversary of Imam Zaman, Ajjalullah Tafaraja. And as we're approaching ever closer to those days, 10 days, we're getting ever closer to Ramadan. And Sister Wafa, I want to really focus on that. First of all, I'd love to hear, again, people's thoughts. How are they approaching the holy month of Ramadan? But also, it's really, really important that we can then support them immediately so that the people are ready during the holy month of Ramadan. And with that, we've got a very, very special package. You're seeing it under me. You're going to see it in the screen just now. But just before I talk about some of the packages, I'd love to remind everyone that we've got a donation hotline. We've got teams working in the background waiting for your call, inshallah. So do call them at 0208 05014. Or alternatively, you can go on www.thehopeappeal.com and you can talk and see all of the packages that we're talking about, inshallah. But one of the packages that you're going to see right under our screens right now.
Sorry to interrupt you. The scan. Let's not forget this. We're doing this QR thing. We are very techie savvy here at the Hope Appeal, and as you can see, I'm pointing out to this funny square that
you've got the QR code, yeah. That will take you straight to thehopeappeal.com. So as you said, you can click that, or you can go on www.thehopeappeal.com. And talking about that, we've got that package right now. So we've got a really specific package. I want every single one to mention it to everyone. For £30, you can get 30 iftar meals to those that need it the most. £30, 30 iftar meals. You don't need to be a mathematician, £1 per person. And Sister Wafa, this is the beautiful thing, right? Because we get a lot of people coming in and they're like, we'll wait for the holy month of Ramadan and then make a donation. But if we make a donation on the first day of Ramadan and it takes maybe 2-3 days for everything to be processed, it means that for the first couple of days, people won't have everything, right?
Exactly. First of all, as we're all gearing up to Ramadan, inshallah, and we're all getting excited and our energy levels are high up and we've got our goals set. But why not set this goal that Brother Haidar just said, which is donating earlier on? Because as we are approaching the first days of Ramadan, and we're sitting there, fasting and breaking our fast with the first iftar, why not break the iftar with others across our world, with other people who desperately need it? And £1, seriously,
that's it. £1 a day.
£1 a day. £1.50. I mean, that's just over €1. So €1 doesn't get too much around here, unfortunately. So can you imagine if one simple meal, now it's around €10, I would say. I mean, that would have fed 10 people. I mean,
That's
it's
it.
extraordinary.
It's as simple as that, right? It genuinely is as simple as that. We don't want
Exactly.
to overcomplicate it. We're not going to give here and alhamdulillah, the Hope Appeal have made it so incredibly easy for you that in the comfort of your own
Exactly.
home, you can spend every single pound that you have to spare. Again, £30 is just an indication. £30 feeds 30 people. But if you go on the Hope Appeal website, you can donate any amount. £1
Exactly.
can feed one person. You don't get that value for money
Amazing.
here in Europe or in America
And
or in Canada, do
plus,
you?
when we give them the food, it's the food that is local to them. It is what they are used to. It is what their dietary requirements wanted. It is what the community wanted. So it's not some foreign aid that's going in. This is exactly matches their dietary requirements, but also it is the things that are staples, such as flour, lentils, or rice, and cooking oil, these basic things. But also, we are giving them a nourishing meal. It's
Yeah.
not just something. It's, we're giving them a complete meal with the drink that
Yeah.
honestly is worth more than €5 or pounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is obviously there are two packages, and I want to make sure we're direct with the viewers that are watching. £30 gives them 30 iftar meals. This is a meal that's ready for them to go. But one thing that supports them even further than that is with the £60 package, the food basket. So £60 feeds an entire family for an entire month. I'm going to repeat that because it's such incredible value for money. £60, equivalent to £2 a day, feeds an entire family for an entire month. And that is, as Sister Wafa said, gives them the flour, rice, but also all the other nutritional meats and so forth that is required for that. Which is, I mean, realistically, what are we spending? £60, we're probably spending on our own that a week or so. Or if you're looking at your family, you're spending that on a week for one little part of it, probably more than that. £60 for an entire family for an entire month. This is incredible value for money. And again, like we said it, Sister Wafa, this is not just families that are well off and we're like, all right, we'll help you. No, these are the people that are struggling severely. The followers of the Ahlulbayt a lot of the times. The people that are fasting. This is what we need to realize. Ignoring that they're just hungry. They are fasting. They're looking forward to their meal, but they don't know where their next meal is coming from. You right now have got the opportunity to make their Ramadan absolutely amazing Ramadan, and they'll raise their hands during the holy month, during Layat al-Qadr, and pray, thank you for the person who's provided this meal. And we can make that possible with the Hope Appeal from the comfort of our own home.
Exactly. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity to let somebody else start Ramadan with this sweet, flavor and feeling that we get when we start Ramadan. But can you imagine the person who's starting their first and breaking the first meal and breaking their fast, and they are praying for you? Yes, I mean,
wow.
A dua from another mu'min, a dua for somebody who has been waiting for food is just the most amazing thing you can get, because you are doing Allah's work. Allah decided that you viewers at home will do His work for Him. And isn't that an amazing opportunity when we say and pray and say, Ya Allah, make us more connected to you, work through me, I want to get closeness. Then Allah has answered you and said, you're watching the Hope Appeal, you're listening to Haidar and Wafa. That means go on and call these numbers and help somebody have a nourishing meal this Ramadan, inshallah.
Exactly, and what a beautiful thing. Sister Wafa, I'm sure one of the things you're looking forward to, I'm looking forward to, and a lot of the viewers are looking forward to, is gathering, coming together with our families, seeing friends, and we'll have iftar together. Why is that encouraged? Why do people do that? Because we know there's so much ajr and thawab, there's so much rewards and blessing into breaking another Muslim brother or sister, another mu'min brother or sister's fast. We know there are so many beautiful rewards for that. Now, imagine you're with value of money, £1 per person. You're not paying that when you're getting your friends and family together. I know that for a fact. For £1 per person, you can break someone's fast. But not only are you breaking another Muslim person's fast that was fasting all day in the scorching heat, no, you're also doing it to someone who doesn't know where their next meal is coming from. What an amazingly beautiful thing. And we're not asking you, put all of your money aside, help as many people. But let's say you're getting your friends and family together. You're going to make 3 mains, 3 desserts, 3 sides. I promise you, you move one of those sides, you're saving £30, and you can put that £30 to feed 30 people, inshallah. Think about how we can re-engineer those funds. Because Sister Wafa, it is genuinely unbelievable. Alhamdulillah, the Hope Appeal has given myself, you, and all the viewers watching a beautiful opportunity to actually break someone's fast for £1 a day. When we're talking about a cost of living crisis, which I know a lot of people are struggling with, I sincerely do understand and appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Alhamdulillah, the Hope Appeal have made it possible just like that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, seriously, butter, we suddenly shut up in prices. And then we can't do these desserts. And now these desserts are costing us a lot, an arm and a leg. And we know Ramadan desserts, this is what we look forward to. But, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, please, there are many people across our ummah, across the world, who do not have a meal, who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Maybe they are struggling in war zones. Maybe they don't have a household income. Orphans, widows. We don't
Wow.
know what their financial aid is. They're restricted, and just to help them remove that worrisome anxiety that I don't know what I'm going to cook tonight. I don't know what to feed my
Yeah.
children. You, ladies and gentlemen, have taken that big weight off them. Usually, if it's a widow, obviously it's usually the mother. It's usually the mother who cooks, and you've taken that huge anxiety and that problem out from her shoulders. This is an amazing thing to do. Honestly, I cannot emphasize it enough. Me,
That's the
because
thing.
I not only as a mother and who loves cooking, but the one who provides. I'm constantly thinking, okay, what shall I buy? How am I going to make it? What recipe? What would they eat? And I have the luxury to think about this and make my shopping list and go. People somewhere, they don't have that luxury. They sit there
They
and eat,
don't.
and yeah, they're just thinking, my stomach is hungry. I will eat anything,
Yeah.
probably even grass, just to have
Wow.
something to
It's
shut my,
heartbreaking.
hunger with. And
It's
it's even
heartbreaking.
more, like you said, it's about community as well. It's a breaking together. And then when you all sit down and she has her children or friends gather around, and, let's give them dignity. Let's give them that hope,
Because
alleviate them and enjoy Ramadan. Ramadan is not just about, saving all, like I did, and I spoke to Sister Zamina. We've been saving all the recipes for Ramadan on Instagram and saying, I'm going to do
yeah,
this,
yeah,
I'm going
yeah,
to do
yeah.
this. And going to iftar dinners and things. Some people, why don't you extend your iftar table across to somebody else?
Ahsantum, beautifully said with Sister
House,
Wafa. And I want to touch upon a
yeah.
lot of the stuff that you said because you made some excellent points. One of the real key points is about that dignity element. And we're going to really, really dive deep into that. But you know what I want to do? I want to give the viewers a chance to see, you know what? It's really well and good, myself, Wafa, we're talking. But we actually want to show you some of the work that the Hope Appeal have done and only have been able to do because of your support. Whether this is orphans, whether this is widows, whether it's supporting those vulnerable. We're going to, throughout the show, show you a lot of examples of the amazing work that we were able to do because of your support. So we'll just start off with one and then we'll continue our conversation. We'll see you right after this quick video break.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. I'm here with a beautiful family, Abbas, who has 4 orphan children. We've just walked into this house and the heat is absolutely unbearable. The smell is awful. There's not a proper sewage system here. There's not a proper electrical wiring in this house, which is causing major issues for the family. Now, we know that these young children have been orphaned about 5 years ago. And when asked, this young boy sitting beside me, what had happened to his father, he said very casually and very normally that his father died from diabetes. Diabetes, dear brothers and sisters, we know is something that can be managed very well with proper diet, with exercise and with medicine. We know because we go through the same issues, but these people do not have access to the medication and the education that we do. With £110, with the emergency medical aid package provided for by the Hope Appeal, this can be rid. We can rid of this issue of people dying, men dying. Look at the fantastic work that we're doing, but also remember that there are hundreds and thousands of cases like Abbas and her family that require your support. We've only been able to support Abbas for a couple of months now. She's just registered with us, and alhamdulillah, she's already mentioned that it's making a really big impact on the situation for her family. But she simply needs more help, dear brothers and sisters. It's not fair that we can live in the comforts of our own homes and people like this, people just like us, are living in such dire circumstances. Please visit us at thehopeappeal.com.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajeem. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We just saw a video of Sister Zamina of the Hope Appeal actually visiting some of these orphans and widows in Iraq. And of course, we started off the show talking about the amazing Ramadan packages. £30 gives you 30 meals, inshallah. With £60, you can have a food basket for an entire month. But we're obviously, the one thing that really broke my heart in that video, we're looking at orphans. And Sister Wafa made a really good point earlier about giving the level of dignity. So I want to talk about that dignity and what that dignity provides for that £40 a month. £40 a month allows you to sponsor an orphan, £1.33 a day. That is all it takes. £1.33, £40 a month. It allows you to sponsor an orphan. And myself and Sister Wafa have been on many shows together, and this is a package we cannot stop talking about because of the value of money it has. We saw this video right now. This is an orphan who's lost a breadwinner, bad electricity in the house. The least that we can do is giving that orphan an opportunity to grow and develop. Giving them clothing, giving them a roof over their head, giving their food, supporting their mental and physical health, and obviously education. We'll talk about education in just a moment because there's so much to talk about, right, Sister Wafa? But I just want to dive deeper into this £40 a month orphan sponsorship package. I cannot say it enough. It's an incredible package, isn't it, Sister Wafa? Please.
It is because it's a very holistic package. These packages that the Hope Appeal have done are specifically designed to cater for the needs of each individual orphan. That's why it's so unique, and that's why we love it so much. Because that £40 it doesn't not just provide clothing and food. No, it provides so much more. We actually find out what does that specific orphan need. Is there a specific medication? Is there a specific level of education? Maybe they have other educational difficulties, disorders. You know, we find out specifically what that, orphan needs. And most of the time, it's a universal fundamental thing that we talked about, which is all ties in with dignity and humanity and just having, because when I look at my own children and other children, why are they blessed to have the same right and then somebody else doesn't? It doesn't feel right. It's not just. This is not what the Ahlulbayt stood for. Ahlulbayt stood for justice and equality to all, especially the children, And the orphans.
Sister Wafa, just to add to that, I mean, this is, you made a really good point. The Hope Appeal, and I want to make sure that everyone understands this, the Hope Appeal partners up with other charities in the ground, extremely reliable charities, to ensure that every penny of that £40 is spent in the best way possible. Like Sister Wafa said, is obviously we tailor it to every single orphan that is sitting there. So different orphans have different needs, whether they have, for example, disabilities, or whether they don't have any disabilities, but they still need a roof over their head. The electricity, you saw how bad the electricity situation. Some of it is very complicated, but one thing that I've heard about the Hope Appeal, which is genuinely unique from my perspective of other charities, is that part of that £40 actually gives an allowance to the mother. Because one, we know that the mother knows what is best for her children. Sister Wafa, you're a mother, you know what's best for your children. But before you answer that, it's also the fact that the word that you mentioned earlier, really, really important and part of the core mission of the Hope Appeal, dignity. You give dignity back to that mother. You give dignity back to the orphan. And it's such a powerful thing, right, Sister Wafa? Again, sorry for interrupting you earlier, but you're a mother, right? You're a mother. You want to have a level of control of what your children's end up doing and what you want to provide for your children, right?
Sometimes, Haidar, no mother, no father have control, but we try it as much as we can.
Of course,
and
of course.
Of course, I mean it in a jokey way. All mothers and fathers know. Once you child hit teenagehood, really. But as we know, mothers are the cornerstone of a child's development, both psychological and physical, and of course spiritual. The mother provides everything. She's not only cornerstones, but she is the sustainer. She is the provider. And this is, when the children go straight to their mother, not just for love and comfort, but for food, for shelter, for providing stuff, for doing even homework. I mean, doing homework in French, I couldn't even do it in English. Now I have to do it in French. So so with these packages that we're giving, we are helping not only just for the orphan, but also for the mother to allow her safe space and time. She doesn't have to think about where she's going to get the money, how she's going to pay the electricity bill, because these are fundamental. They all work. They all holistic, and they not just this, because having an electricity allows that child to do the homework, allows that child to have the refrigerator on so he can be or she can be nourished. Having it paid the electricity bill will allow the mother to maybe have a sewing machine and work and make clothes. Yeah, I mean, it covers so many things, and that's why it's so wonderful, and that's why this £40. I mean, can we break it down? £40, isn't that your average going
£1.
out meal per
It's
person?
£1.33 a day. It's £1.33. It's what people spend on
Amazing.
gym memberships without going to the gym, right? It's what people spend on the Netflixes without leveraging it. It's what people spending on Amazon. It's what people. If you're re-engineering some of your funds, looking at your direct debits,
Exactly.
changing your phone plan to something that's slightly more affordable because you're probably not leveraging everything that you're using. Just re-engineering those funds, and you're able to afford that and get that constant ajr and thawab, those constant rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout the whole year. It's a fantastic thing. And Sister
a lot
Wafa,
of
one
people
thing.
say,
Yes, sorry, go ahead.
no, a lot of people say, oh, it's Ramadan, I'm going to be more spiritual, I'm not going to watch all these Turkish musalsalat and things, I'm going to be good. So, unsubscribe, Netflix and whatnot, and give it to the orphans, because they're living their own, drama, and you can help them out. And this 40, it's for a whole month that covers so many layers that are so fundamental and important.
And we know that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi, obviously very, very famously, and I know everyone says this, but we have to mention it because it's so important. He said, those that take care of the orphans will be like this. And the narration was, he put two fingers together and said, will be like this with me in Jannah. Imagine being right alongside Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa ali, because you've been taking care of an orphan, because all you did is spend £1.33 a day. That is all it takes.
Imagine the smile the orphan has. I mean, isn't that a work? Your heart just opens, and you will have that dopamine effect, and you're going to make yourself happy.
Of
and
course.
Inshallah, you will continue to do this because you're hooked on making other people happy, and it's reciprocated. And this is not only thawab, but it is sadaqah jariyah, because you are helping that you're helping a human being develop.
You know what, Sister Wafa, as you're mentioning this, and again, we've spoken about that £40 orphan sponsorship, I'm sure we'll go back, but if you're looking at some of the other packages that we're seeing, and just actually, before I talk about some of the other packages, on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, maybe top bottom right, sorry, you can see all the flags that we're doing. The Hope Appeal is really, really unique in a charity that are supporting so many different areas. You saw Iraq, you saw Syria, you saw Pakistan, you saw Afghanistan, you see Tanzania, you see Kenya, there's so many other countries. If the Hope Appeal, you can actually go to the website and you can say, how do I support these countries? When we talk about a country like Yemen, so much that has happened in the last couple of years. You can actually, the Hope Appeal have got that leverage to support all of these different countries. So if there's anything you're particularly passionate about, alhamdulillah, the Hope Appeal can support that. And again, as everyone in the world knows, there are many other places in the world that require your support. The Hope Appeal is constantly working to expand, support more areas that are in desperate need. Ensuring, but this is really important, ensuring that the people we are helping are the partners that we're partnering up with on the ground are as reliable, because we don't want your pennies to go to the middleman at all. So we want to ensure it's as reliable as possible. We can only do that with your growth. You continue to support us, we will continue to grow, inshallah. But just talking about that, with some of these countries, why did I mention these countries? Of course, we can support them. But when we're talking about countries, Yemen, Iraq, Syria, these countries have had generations of damages. When we're talking about Syria, where 2.1 million people, 2.1 million children are out of school. In Iraq, 800,000 orphans, and I think 3 million people that are struggling in Iraq, and again, out of school. Education is that key piece that allows you to rebuild those countries. Yes, we can do an amazing thing of feeding them, and I encourage it, I love it, it's amazing, because people need to support now. But in the back of our mind, we need to know, what is the next step? It's education, my brothers and sisters. Education. The Prophet says you can go until China to seek knowledge. It's about education. Can we support building a school? We've got two fantastic packages. £330 helps the education, helps them going back to school. And we've got the £1,000 package, which can help build a school. Again, big numbers. Appreciate that. If you can support that, myself and Sister Wafa are going to jump up and down from happiness. But if you can't do that, any amount, even £1 will go a tremendous way, because education is so incredibly important, isn't it, Sister Wafa? I'm building these schools for these countries to develop.
It's the cornerstone, because not only the Prophet ﷺ has spoken about this. Not only our imams are versed and educated and have deep knowledge that they've given us. It is really encouraging in the Quran when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to, اقرأ, and He tells us, ألا
It's the
تفكرون,
first
ألا
ayah of the
تفكرون,
Quran, yeah.
Exactly. So this is, having an education is not just learning how to read and write. It gives you so many opportunities in life. It allows you to have, first and foremost, the confidence. It gives you your own self-worth. You find out about yourself and the world around you. Then you think, okay, maybe I can help others to read. Maybe then I can have a job. Maybe having a job then will alleviate you out of poverty. And then you start doing, creating communities, creating networks.
Wow.
And it just expands and expands. And honestly, it is such a gift. And by providing knowledge, we can help, maybe girls get out of poverty and help and have their own businesses. And they will contribute not only to their community, but to the household. And it keeps growing. And this is just a fantastic thing to expand on and give to other members of society. And I know our amazing, generous viewers are probably thinking, £1,000, that's a bit too much. But it's not if you do a collective. It's not if you go and when you donate, you donate as much as you can for that cause. Or for Ramadan is coming, like we keep saying, why don't you say, instead of buying Eid presents, Ramadan presents, or reducing your your iftar, take a bit out and put that towards the pot.
That's it. Literally just take a little bit out, because bit by bit it will make a tremendous difference. It really, really will. And we know for a fact this one of the key pillars of the Hope Appeal is cutting that cycle of poverty. We can only cut that cycle of poverty because, again, you support a person for one day, is that famous saying of give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. This is very much the mission that the Hope Appeal are going for. Education, ensuring that the education is in place, and we've continued to grow. We've actually partnered up with Kissa Foundation, or Kissa Education, which is a charity very much focused about that. So again, we've partnered up, we've got really strong ties to support these children. Sometimes in Africa, in Tanzania, these are children, and we're teaching them the ways of the Ahlulbayt, we're teaching them the lessons, we're teaching them Quran, and simultaneously we're teaching them maths, science, languages, to grow, develop, and be the next lawyers, be the next doctors, be the next teachers, be the next plumbers, be the next everything in that country, to start rebuilding that country, inshallah. This is really the power of education, and this is what we want to get.
And they won't need our help anymore.
Yeah.
So this is exactly what we're doing.
Me and Sister
so
Wafa,
we don't want to call you.
me and Sister Wafa don't want to be here, but we are here because we're passionate, and you are watching this because you are passionate, and you're making a difference because you are passionate. And inshallah, one day, when the Imam of our time comes back, inshallah, we don't need to be here, but from now, inshallah, we can get ready for him. We can get ready for him, we can get our children ready for him, and inshallah, we can make a difference. With that being said, we do want to show you more of the amazing work that the Hope Appeal are doing, because again, we can only do this because of you guys, but we want to show you the amazing work that we've been able to do because of your support. So we'll see you right after this short video break.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We're in the house of Hussein, who is a widow who has 6 children. Her children, you can see behind me, are so beautiful, mashallah. And to see them living in this extreme heat, with a lack of electricity, a lack of clean water, a lack of proper food, it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. Listening to Hussein's story, seeing the emotion and the pain in her eyes, the pain in the eyes of her children, it's heartbreaking. It's honestly heartbreaking. The smell, because of the lack of sewage system here, and the heat doesn't make that any better. They need your help. These orphans need your help. Children are children wherever they are in the world, and they deserve a good life. They deserve to be happy. They deserve to be smiling. They deserve an education. And with the Hope Appeal, you can offer that to these children that you see beside me. For £40 a month, you can sponsor directly an orphan in one of these lands, in one of these countries, and assist them with education, with healthcare, with clothing, so that they don't have to live in the same way that their mothers have lived, and that they have more hope, inshallah, through your donations. Please do look at our website, look at the case studies that we have done, and look at the support that we have offered already. The support we have offered already is amazing, but dear brothers and sisters, it's not enough. We need to continue the work that we're doing on the ground, and we can only do that through your generous donations. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. I'm here with a beautiful family, Abbas, who has 4 orphan children. We've just walked into this house and the heat is absolutely unbearable. The smell is awful. There's not a proper sewage system here. There's not a proper electrical wiring in this house, which is causing major issues for the family. Now, we know that these young children have been orphaned about 5 years ago. And when asked, this young boy sitting beside me, what had happened to his father, he said very casually and very normally that his father died from diabetes. Diabetes, dear brothers and sisters, we know is something that can be managed very well with proper diet, with exercise and with medicine. We know because we go through the same issues, but these people do not have access to the medication and the education that we do. With £110, with the emergency medical aid package provided for by the Hope Appeal, this can be rid. We can rid of this issue of people dying, men dying. Look at the fantastic work that we're doing, but also remember that there are hundreds and thousands of cases like Abbas and her family that require your support. We've only been able to support Abbas for a couple of months now. She's just registered with us, and alhamdulillah, she's already mentioned that it's making a really big impact on the situation for her family. But she simply needs more help, dear brothers and sisters. It's not fair that we can live in the comforts of our own homes and people like this, people just like us, are living in such dire circumstances. Please visit us at thehopeappeal.com.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We saw 2 separate videos how the Hope Appeal is supporting the people that are most vulnerable. In fact, those specific videos we're talking literally just a couple of miles from the holy shrines. This is the thing that breaks my heart more than anything else. Even though, of course, every child, every parent, every orphan, every widow deserves the support that we can provide, inshallah. But the fact that this happens so close to areas that we visit, that we spend our time with, it absolutely breaks my heart. And again, like we're saying, orphan sponsorship, £40 a month. Supporting their education, whatever amount you can do. With £1,000 you can help build a school. With £30 a month you can, with £30 you can feed 30 packages. There are so many incredible packages, Sister Wafa, and we're going to talk about a couple more of those packages throughout the day. But there is a very specific package that is called Where It's Needed the Most. And I actually really like this package because I know I sit myself, and I know many people are watching, they're like, oh my God, there are so many. Do I support orphans? Do I support education? Do I build a water well? Do I go to Tanzania? Does I go to Syria? Does I go to Iraq? And that's an understandable thing. Many of us, we just want to say, you know what, I just want to do good. The Hope Appeal, you've shown that we are a trustworthy charity. We just want to send the money. Where it's needed the most is basically a combination of everything, as well as if there was an emergency happening. We saw a couple of months ago when there was the terrible earthquakes within Turkey and Syria. Hope Appeal was able to support on that, similar to other occasions. So where it's needed the most is actually a really beautiful package where we're combining all of it in one and say, you know what, Hope Appeal, I trust you guys to do whatever is required. And it's not just whatever is required. Sometimes, Sister Wafa, we get quite complicated issue. I mean, you could argue that video that we saw just there in the end, in terms of the child needs education, the mother needs money, the electricity needs fixing. Sometimes they have leaks in the thingy, there's no roof over their head. It's sometimes quite complex issues, which are a mixture of many things. Where it's more needed actually takes care of that. It's an amazing initiative, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because like we said, the Hope Appeal, one of the amazing things about Hope Appeal is it caters and designs around the specific individual. And this is it. This is exactly the package. What most needed is when a specific family or person comes to the Hope Appeal with their problem, whether it is a health issue or, like we saw, a housing issue, whether there is problems, like you said, with the plumbing or electricity, even fixing a home, and which is really important to have a safe, warm shelter, a home. I mean, if you can't even relax and live in your home where you just, reduce all your worries and be and live with your family, I mean, it just takes that strain off the people who are living there, providing them exactly what they needed. Also, like you mentioned earlier, what if, an earthquake happens, flooding, some sort of either natural disaster that hits a specific already impoverished community, then we have a double whammy. It's like we saw this happening in Pakistan. Hope people was there, and hope it will continue to be there with the people who to help them and aid, like how to get people into safety, whether it's when we had the COVID, it's specifically people who needed COVID packages. So it's really good, flexible, I would say, package that not only is reliable, but also, like we keep emphasizing, an amazing thing because it completely goes and answers, hopefully, inshallah, the direct problem of that specific individual and the case.
Exactly, and again, we're looking at actual thoughts from our holy imams. If we're looking at a quote from Imam Ja'far Sadiq, a very famous quote that says, everything has a key, and the key to sustenance is charity. We're looking at our Imam, and again, the Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, a very similar quote of attract sustenance by giving charity. This is repeated constantly. This is repeated because of the importance of it. If we wanted to attract sustenance to ourselves, we give charity. A lot of the time, Sister Wafa, I do think, and we've discussed this on the show many times, we are supporting them as much as they are supporting us, right? They are giving us an opportunity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us an opportunity that I can sit down here, you can sit down here, and the viewers are watching this right now from the comfort of their own home, inshallah, having an opportunity to give. And I know people think, let's wait for the holy month of Ramadan, let's wait for this, let's wait for that. Right now, there are people who are desperate for food. Right now, there are people that don't know where their education is coming from, where their next meal is coming from, how we can support. Right now, it's an opportunity for us to make a difference. There's a reason you're watching this show right now, alhamdulillah. And that is because you can make a difference. You can support the Hope Appeal. You can make that difference to these people. And again, Sister Wafa, we mention this every time. We don't save the money in a bank account. When you say, I want to feed these people, it goes to the people that need it the most. I mentioned, of course, there's a pot for real emergencies. But if you're saying, I want to feed someone today, it will go to the person as soon as physically possible.
Exactly. This is the amazing thing. Like we said, Hope Appeal works with charities that are grassroots charities who know the local area, know how to directly give the aid packages
and be efficient.
Specific target. Exactly, efficient, and it's and this is the thing that we worked really hard on and built, because we want the trust of our amazing audience and our donors, and that's why everything is clearly marked out and it is shown in our website and in our work. Every penny, every dollar, every euro, because we're international, we accept all of your money. Maybe soon we'll even accept Bitcoin. We accept them all, and we give them directly. It goes directly where it is needed, because unfortunately there are so many people out there who desperately need your money, and
unfortunately,
we cannot afford to let it sit for a day or two. It goes straight away.
It goes straight away, exactly, to the people that you needed the most. And when you're talking about people that need our support, when we're talking about people that need our support, we're talking about 2 billion people around the world that do not have access to clean drinking water. Billion, not million, billion. Again, we can talk about the water well. We'll talk about that in just a second. But I really want people to have that realization that the money that we have in our bank accounts, it's like a loan. It's like a loan that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has trusted us with. What do we do? It's a test. What do we do with it? In fact, in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 245, it says, the person who lends to Allah, a good lending will receive him many times more. We know that when we give something in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will come back to us, either in this world, again, I've had experience, I'm sure the viewers have had experience, but actually in the hereafter, we can't even consider how much more is coming back to us. So it's an investment in our deen. Absolutely. And this is the thing that we want to do. I mentioned very quickly about the water well, Sister Wafa. £1,500 water well. It's a package that's very, very popular during the holy month of Ramadan, but not as popular as we're approaching the holy month of Ramadan. Maybe because people during Ramadan, they realize how thirsty they are, how important it is. But we know water and building water wells and supporting people getting this water, it's so incredibly important, isn't it?
And let's remind our viewers, when you give and donate for a water well, it does take a few days to build. So why not get it ready for Ramadan? Wow. And it's amazing, because when you get it ready for Ramadan, not only are you refreshing and quenching the thirst of those who are fasting, We can also have a plaque with your name or the person that you've chosen. We put it there so people, every time they go and have a drink of water, they will see your name. They will read your name or the name of the marhumeens that you're dedicating. And they're getting sadaqah jariyah. And maybe if they're marhumeen, what an amazing thing to leave behind, a legacy for them. And let's remind ourselves, these water wells, not the old kind fashion that we probably have in our head and we've seen it on movies or stuff. These are actually motorized, safe water wells that don't, the cost, if it needs to be repaired, will also be included in that. It's actually made really safe with, I'm going to say it in French. I forgot what the word is, tapped. With clean taps.
Incredible.
With taps, and it's clean, and it just gives that amazing fresh water to somebody who not only just broken their fast, but also can give it to their livestock. They can wash their clothes. They can do a ghusl in it.
And it's incredible as well because they are going to be in the middle of the village. A lot of the time, these villagers or these people that are struggling in these smaller towns have to travel miles upon miles to actually get access to that water, and often very dirty water. So having that in the center, it's an incredible thing because that means those children don't have to make these long journeys they can actually, focus on going to education. These mothers don't have to go out, they can actually focus on actually being mothers and spending time with their children. These fathers, instead of having to go there, they can focus on their job. And it brings people together. We know that water has attracted people. If you look at every major city in the world, is built around water. If you're looking at any major transportation, it's around water. If you're looking at where people get together, it's water.
Brother Haidar, why are you going far? I mean, when you're in the office, isn't much of the office chat around the water? When we go,
you get water, you get office chat. It is. You're right. It is. It attracts.
I mean, all of us do that. We go to the water tank, and that's where we do it. So basically, we're doing almost the same thing. We are cutting the journey, going to fetch the water. We're bringing the water to them. We're making it safe. We're making it accessible. We're building it cleanly and nicely. Tiles around, so access is given to young, old, and we're making it safe for children because unfortunately, children have to travel, miles maybe to get sometimes in dangerous areas or during the night. Exactly. So we're giving also safety to young children and especially women.
That is the incredible thing. And you know what? You saying you go to your office, have your chit chat around water. One, it brings water together. But second of all, when you said that, of course, it was a funny comment, but it made me realize for 1 second, I take it for granted. I don't even think about that because it's such a normal to my nature that water is accessible at all times. Of course, during Ramadan, I have a little bit of an appreciation, the lack of water, what that does to me. But I know the second it hits 9:22 p.m. exactly in that same second, I have a glass of water that I can drink. People do not have that luxury.
When you drink water,
yes.
Sorry, Rob Haider. I just want to draw attention to the viewers and yourself, and me included. When we have that water, what luxury it is. We turn on the tap, water comes through. What do? We put in the glass, shake it around, spill the water, test the water.
Wow.
It's not the right temperature. Let it go a bit more. Have it.
Just let it go.
Fill it. We have that luxury. People don't. People probably, when it rains, they stick their tongue out and want to catch that water, whilst we are thinking, no, it's not the right temperature. Let me swirl it around in my clean cup just in case my cup is not clean. I mean, that's
it. It's a luxury.
And what I do.
And again, we're not blaming people for it because it's second nature of it. But we do need to realize this is a luxury and privilege that we have. And alhamdulillah, we have the opportunity to change that for someone around us. We have the opportunity, not just water, every packages that you're seeing at the bottom. We are less than 10 days away from Ramadan. You need to spiritually, mentally, and get ready for the holy month of Ramadan. There is no better way to do that by giving sustenance to yourself. And the key to sustenance is to give charity, as mentioned by Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salam. Everything we do will have a reward. And when we have an exam in school, for example, or when our children have school, we don't expect them to just sit that exam without any preparation. Just like how we don't expect you to do Ramadan without any mental and physical preparation, because you won't leverage all of it. Right now is your opportunity to make a difference. Make a donation. Go to the hopeappeal.com website, literally thehopeappeal.com. Or please do call us donation hotlines. We've got people waiting for your call. 0208 5014. You can see it right under me, right here. There you go, under there. And of course, you can go on the hopeappeal.com website. But generally, anything that you do, we don't want to leave this show. We're only here for like 15 minutes or so without actually. We don't want you to go tonight without making a donation, even if it's £1. We promise you, even if you make a £1, you'll go to sleep so much happier, knowing that £1 has potentially given an iftar for someone. It's that plain and simple.
Exactly.
£1 has given an iftar for someone.
Has fed somebody, you know, their belly is healthily full. They can go asleep, you know, without having the hunger in them. And how amazing is that is, ladies and gentlemen, our amazing viewers. Come on, this is Ramadan. Let's just get ready. You know, Brother Haider said, let's get all ready. Let's get financially ready for Ramadan. Put that incentive. As we're mentally thinking about Ramadan, let's start giving, you know, charity so others can also get ready for Ramadan with us.
And you know what, Sister Wafa, I think if you can't give anything donation, or get, like I said, even £1 will make a tremendous difference. More than people realize. Sometimes we think £1 doesn't do anything. It makes a difference. It can feed one person. But if you're unable to make a donation tonight, I don't want you to sit down and say, okay, I can't make a donation, I'm not going to do. Show the hopeappeal.com website to someone. Tell them, have you heard of this charity? www.thehopeappeal.com. Share this with someone. And if you share it with someone, they might be able to donate. And the ajr and thawab and the blessings and rewards will go to you. And then they can share it with someone. They can share it with someone. They can share it with someone. And you're creating the cycle that, inshallah, you can make a substantial difference. And this is really what you can do.
We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on all your socials. So we're very easy to find.
Yeah, or you can go on www.thehopeappeal.com. Myself and Sister Wafa have explained some of the packages, we've explained where it goes to, but the website will actually give you more information. And in fact, if you go on the website and you're here in the UK, every donation you make, because it's a UK registered charity, there's something called gift aid. Gift aid is where the government actually puts 25% extra. So you put in £10, it's £12.50. You're putting £100, it's £125. Or if you were to able to get together, you and your friends to come together with £1,000, you can get £250 extra without having to do anything. It's an incredible initiative, and we can do that because it's a UK registered package. I'm hearing for our producers, we've got a video ready. We were talking about water wells, and they worked in the background. They're like, you know what, we want to show you some of the amazing work that the Hope Appeal are doing. So of course, while we were talking about that, we're not just words, we want to show you the actions as well. So we'll see you right after this video break.
What you can see on the right hand side here is a dirty, polluted river full of waste, plastic, non-disposables. Their source of cleanliness, their source of hygiene. Look at what we can see right here. The smell is repulsive. You can smell the bacteria in this water. This is where your contributions towards digging clean water wells will make a difference and make an impact. Just take a look. You can see behind me the amount of plastic bottles that are in this river. Just look for yourself. Let these views and these images penetrate your heart. Pick up the phone, make a call, go onto the website, thehopeappeal.com. Make a difference today. Change people's lives. What you can see on the right hand side here is
we just saw the video. Incredible, I think, seeing that dirty water. I mean, again, just ignoring the fact that the water is dirty, the smell of it alone would be such a bothersome thing for the entire community. But then the fact they have to drink from that, they have to borrow that, they sometimes have to wash their clothing from that. It's not sustainable, it's dirty. We wouldn't want that on our worst enemy, let alone on the followers of the Ahlulbayt. This is the thing that breaks our heart. They don't want it, we don't want it. But alhamdulillah, the Hope Appeal have identified it as an area where we can build a water well, where we can give them clean drinking water. But we can only do so with your incredible support. £1,500 to build a water well. If you can't pay the full £1,500, you can pay an amount towards it. Or you can get your friends and family together. We're saying that as because £1,500 can build that water well. You can come together. But like I said, if you can just put £10, £20, £30, £150 on it, you can make that, and then you will be part of several people coming together and building a water well. Yes, Sister Wafa.
Fantastic. I was just saying that nobody wants this. So sometimes when you see these images, yes, it's sad, but we really need to think these people did not choose this.
No.
And they're not happy with this situation. It's only because they're so desperate. They are hopeless. And this is where the hope of it comes and gives them hope. But we're here because of our audience, our amazing viewers who get that and then make that difference. And believe me, brothers and sisters, the people who are helping do not forget you. They are, you are in their dua. And what an amazing thing to think somebody so miles away are doing dua for me. And Allah does, answer their dua because you have just helped a miskin, somebody who is mazloom, and you helped them.
I've just got this image in my head as you're saying that, Sister Wafa. Imagine a little orphan boy sitting right there, raising his hands right now, saying, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. Is there anyone there to help me? Is there anyone to give me my next meal? Is there anyone to give me clean drinking water? I can't survive with this any longer. And you, right there, the viewer, you are the answer to their dua. What an incredible, beautiful thing that would be. You are able to do that because you spend a couple of pounds, or you spend maybe a lot of pounds, whatever you're able to support these people, to support these orphans, to support these widows, to support these vulnerable peoples. Well, of course, the followers of the Ahlulbayt. But again, we're not just saying that we want to support the followers of the Ahlulbayt. It's just that these are the people that we're partnering up with. But again, it goes far and wide. We want to, inshallah, the Hope Appeal go far and wide, support as many people as possible with your support. And inshallah, we can make that possible. Tonight is a night whereby we're going from double-digit numbers to single-digit numbers as we're counting down the holy month of Ramadan. It's coming ever closer, 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 closer. And before you know it, it's Ramadan. And before you know it, Ramadan passes. We need to get ready before the holy month of Ramadan, because if we are ready, if we're making, and again, charity is an amazing way to do that, but just again, we can do anything just to get ourselves mentally and spiritually getting for the ready for the holy month of Ramadan, because I want you to leverage and make the most out of the holy month of Ramadan. But I know myself, I know Sister Wafa, I know the viewers of everyone that I've spoken to. Giving charity, giving sadaqah is that real first step to making a difference. That is what shows you that your actions are louder than your words. Your words are, I don't want to see the people hungry in the world. None of us do. But your actions are the thing that makes real difference. And your action has been made so easy with the Hope Appeal. Sister Wafa, back in the days, you would have had to go out, you would have had to identify these people yourself. Are they reliable? Are they not reliable? Do you want to go there? Hope Appeal have made that so easy.
Honestly, Hope Appeal has taken that burden off of your shoulders. We are guaranteeing you that your money will not be wasted. Your money is not going on huge admin fees and going left, right, and center. This is going where it's most needed. When you say, I want my money to go to this, it does go to that project. And I just want to draw attention to our audience to two things. As we're talking about Ramadan and getting ready, giving sadaqah, giving charity, helping out does cleanse our soul. It really does. And not only does it cleanse our souls, as we especially need it, all of us, me definitely included, I need a lot of cleansing. And Ramadan approaches, and as we're trying to get closer to Allah, as our grows, why not make it part of your ritual? And maybe you say, yeah, inshallah, but get mentally ready. And why not do it with your family, with your children? Teach them these things. Teach them this is the way of Islam, how you help others through charity. And that's an amazing way of starting Ramadan in a more uplifting spiritual way.
Exactly. Tell your friends, your family, to get them involved. One amazing thing, get your children involved. Allow your children to make that donation. Tell them, don't make that donation without them. Tell them this is money is going to an orphan. This is what we've done. It will allow them to make a difference. And we've had over the years, alhamdulillah, many, many beautiful calls of young children calling into the show, saying this is my pocket money that I'm giving. This is this that I'm giving. And it really gives a bright smile to us. And again, adults alike, children, adults, everyone coming together, especially when we're talking about that water well, £1,500. To myself, to Sister Wafa, to most people watching right now, £1,500, it's a large amount, and it is. We appreciate that it is. But they've said, you know what, I didn't think I could do this. But I started telling my family, they were interested. They started telling their friends, they were interested. We're in so many WhatsApp groups. Before you know it, everyone got together and they were able to build a water well coming together. It's an incredible, incredible thing. You can make that possible. If you start now, you'll get that ready before the holy month of Ramadan starts. So maybe when the month of Ramadan starts. People are looking. You'll be surprised. You share the Hope Appeal projects to people. People will be impressed. People will be surprised. People will be excited. And you will get the ajr and thawab of actually sharing that message. This is why I said that tonight I want people to go to the Hope Appeal website, make a donation. I really, really want you to make a donation, even if it's £1. However, if you can't do that, please share the message of us far and wide. Sister Wafa mentioned we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on all the social medias. But again, I encourage you to follow us, because then you'll see updates of the work that we're doing throughout the entire year, not just during the holy month of Ramadan. Because we know the orphans and the hungry people, the widows, they're not just struggling in those 30 months of the year. No, their struggle, unfortunately, is 365 days a year. And the Hope Appeal does work 365 days a year. And inshallah, you can support us 365 days a year via your donations or via your messaging.
Yes, absolutely. The Hope Appeal doesn't sleep. The Hope Appeal continues to give and look and search for projects in which we can help to alleviate poverty, to give dignity, to give justice and right. I mean, when we say we are the followers of Ahlulbayt, we are the lovers of Imam Hussein, we will call Labbaik ya Hussein, and we will know this, Hal min Nasrin yansuruna, and we all cry and say, yes, well, this is the Nasr, this is the call. It wasn't just about in the battlefield. We are in a battlefield. These are the challenges are happening. Imam Hussein is not just about what happened in Karbala. We say every day is Karbala because there are injustices in the world, and this is what we have to battle. So let's get the call. Let's do it. And when we all pray, and Laylatul Jum'ah today. Yom Jum'ah today, Fridays, and we just passed Sha'ban. And we wanted the reappearance of our Imam, Ajallahu Farajah. But then when he comes, he will say, well, what have you done? I don't want to come now when my soldiers are not ready. How are his soldiers ready if they're not giving, if they're not giving action, if they're not participating? Like Brother Haider said, if you don't have the means, then why not share the knowledge? This is a way of helping others participate and spread the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt and those desperately who need it. So let's get ready, if not for ourselves, but for our Iman and Deen, our Imams that have taught us so much. And we can give this to our children and neighbors, and, just a reminder for myself and others.
Exactly. And as we're approaching to the end of the show, we don't have much long left. And again, I really, really want to leave you with just a couple of thoughts, inshallah, before we leave. As Sister Wafa said, we are the followers of the Ahlul Bayt. We are waiting for our Imam, but of course we know that the Imam Asr wa Zaman is waiting for us. He's waiting for us to take actions. We can't shout, we are the followers of the Ahlul Bayt. We can't shout saying that every day is Ashura and every earth is Karbala. And then actually on the very plains of Karbala, there are still orphans. There are still widows. There are still people that don't have access to clean drinking water. There are still people that don't have education. There are still people. We can't sit there and say, and often we are seeing catastrophic things around the world. I get that. In countries that we've mentioned, in other countries as well, it's heartbreaking situations. And we're all sitting down and thinking, when is the Imam of our time coming? Well, the Imam of our time is waiting for us to get ready. We need to not be hypocrites. We need to make a difference. And inshallah, people have making a difference, but this is just the start. We need to do more. We genuinely, really, really need to do more. And again, just before we leave the show, we've only got a couple of minutes left. I do urge you that tonight is the night that you can make a difference. The holy month of Ramadan is getting ever closer. And even though the Hope Appeal is available 24 hours a day, 7 days of the week, and we're here back tomorrow at the same time, talking to you how you can support, tonight is the night that you can make a genuine and sincere difference. Inshallah, Sister Wafa, any final words?
Just thank you so much for everyone who's donating, going to donate, and has donated. Continue to donate. Think of others, and may Allah bless you with every single amount that you're giving us. Remember, Hope Appeal accepts all kinds of currencies, and it works worldwide. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you very much for Sister Wafa as well. Thank you so much for attending the show and joining the show and giving your incredibly valuable insights. As I'm approaching the end of the show and closing the show, I do want to remind you that even when we're offline, the Hope Appeal is online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I encourage you, I urge you, in fact, to listen to our Prophet, to listen to our Imams, to say that everything has a key. The key to sustenance is charity. Make a difference tonight. Sponsor an orphan. Feed someone for literally just £1 a day. Give someone an iftar meal and show that during the holy month of Ramadan, they know where their next meal is coming from. Come together, build a school, have an education. Whatever you do, don't sit there and do nothing. If you can't donate, share our message. Share our message far and wide. thehopeappeal.com, where our aim is to give hope to the hopeless, and we'll continue to be here during the next couple of nights, but also throughout the entire month of Ramadan. And we hope that you can be together with us in this journey to give hope to the hopeless and cut the cycle of poverty, inshallah. And with that, I will end the show, and we'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.